I just started a bunch of seeds this morning, not because I love to start seeds in the height of the hot summer, but because if I wait another 2 weeks, I will have missed my window and I won't have any fall seedlings to sell at market. If you have ever stood at your seed starting setup or looked at a bin of soil and some trays and seeds and wondered, do I have time? Am I too late? Am I just right? This video is for you. I'm going to answer that question and more today. And I'm going to give you an actual chart to work from, not just some sort of general idea, but a real chart. Here's what I want you guys to know before we get started any further. If you are in zone 7, 8, your window for starting fall brassica seeds is going to close in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So you guys really need to be on that. If you're cooler, in zones that are cooler, go ahead and start now. I'm not as familiar with the shorter seasons. I know that your frost comes sooner, but fall seedlings don't mind the frost. It's not what kills their growth. It's the lack of sun and the length and the shortening of the days. But like I said, if you're in zone 7 and 8, go ahead and get your fall brassica seeds started within the next couple weeks. I want to get that out of the way so you guys have a quick win and you know what you're getting into. Now, if you're in zone 9, you have more of a runway, but it may or may not be as much as you think. So you'll have to stay tuned for this as well. And stay with me. I have these exact zones laid out by date. I'm Michelle. I grow seedlings, cut flowers, vegetables on 3/4 of an acre in Western North Carolina. And I know what happens intimately. I'm intimately aware of what happens when your timing is off. I want you to know what actually prompted this video because I think a lot of you will see yourselves in it. If you were in zone 9A, left a comment asking me for a chart, just a simple chart that shows what to start and when so that she can show up to her market with plants that are big enough to sell. She'll have a long enough runway for her customers to plant them out in their garden and they'll be able to get a fall harvest before things get too cold and the days get too short. And she specifically wanted to know for other markets how you time things like tomatoes and peppers to be ready at the same time for market. Now, I know that's not a fall question, but that's still a seedling question. It's a very popular one, so we'll get to that one as well. And I read that comment and I thought, this is the question, isn't it? This is exactly what every person who starts seedlings for sale has to figure out. Because it's not enough to know what to grow. It's not enough to know how to grow it. You have to actually know how to time that growing so that your plants are ready when your customers are ready to buy them. And I actually built this entire system into a seedling succession guide. I'll link it down in the description below. It's a week-by-week calendar that you can print out. You've got some really nice tools and spreadsheets in there that are going to help you plan out your succession sale so that you can sell seedlings when no one else has them. Like I said, the link is in the description, but let me go ahead and get started with showing you how this actually works. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly how I think about timing my seedlings, and you're going to walk away with a chart. This will be a reference chart for zone 8A, and you can customize it for your own zone. It will show you how to count backward from your market date so that you know exactly when to start. Here's the thing about selling plants. You don't get to choose when your customers decide they're ready to buy. Now, when you've established your market and you've established your brand and people know who you are, you start to be able to do that, yes. But folks will show up to your market when they're ready to plant, or they'll show up, they'll answer your Facebook ad, or they will comment on your Facebook posting when they're ready. Your job is to have exactly what they're looking for exactly at that moment. No pressure, right? No pressure at all. If you start too early, you are hauling around plants that are too big for their cells. They're super root bound. They're starting to look rough. Customers will walk right past them, and then you'll just keep toting them back and forth to market. And you've been feeding and watering those plants for weeks longer than you needed to, which cost you resources, time, and money. If you start too late, then you show up to market with tiny seedlings that the customers don't trust. They do want to see some size on it. They want to feel like they're getting a big enough head start, and they want to trust that that seedling's big enough to survive. The sweet spot is a transplant ready size that is ready right when your customer is ready to plant it in the ground. And to hit that sweet spot, you have to count back from market day, not forwards from whenever you feel like starting seeds. Because trust me, it's hot outside and nobody wants to start fall seeds right now, but you have to. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to do a little bit of trend bucking, or not trend bucking, but for fall seedling success, you really do have to start doing some things that don't feel natural, like starting fall seedlings when it's 100 degrees outside. That mental shift from when should I start to when does my customer want to plant is honestly the most important thing I could give you today. Let me show you exactly how this works. I'm going to use my own market schedule as the example, but the math applies wherever you are. If I want tomato transplants ready for an August 1st market, tomatoes need 6 to 8 weeks to reach a sellable size. I don't mean germinated enough, because yeah, you can get a good sized tomato to germinate in 4 weeks, but a market ready seedling is different, and that takes 6 to 8 weeks in my experience. I count backward from August 1st, and minus 8 weeks puts me at June 6th. So that's when I need to be putting those seeds in the cell, not July, not sometime in June 6th. Now, typically I find that if I do things the week of, any day that week, my plants and seeds are forgiving like that. So for example, if I have a bunch of tasks that I have worked through on a spreadsheet, and they're all landing across a bunch of different varieties, they're landing in a certain week, I can usually bundle all that action and that activity on one day, and all of my products and my plants turn out fine. So you don't have to be super precious about it being June 6th versus June 4th or June 8th, but it does need to be in that week. Now, here's where people get tripped up. They think in calendar months instead of weeks. I want fall plants, so I start in fall. No, fall plants for a September market, you need to be starting those in late July, maybe earlier depending on your crop. So write this on your tray labels. Write it on a whiteboard. Your start date equals your target market date minus however many weeks that crop takes to reach a sellable size. So let's look at specific crops now, because time per variety can vary a lot. Okay, here's the chart. I want you to pause this and screenshot it so that we can go through it. You'll have it forever, but we can walk through this together now. Tomatoes take 6 to 8 weeks to reach a good transplant size. So for Zone 8 summer sales, which is late July, August market, you needed to start tomatoes in early June. So yeah, June, in the summer. It feels wrong, do it anyway. Peppers take longer than tomatoes. They take 8 to 10 weeks. So if you want tomatoes and peppers to hit the market at the same time, start your peppers a full 2 weeks before your tomatoes. They both arrive at sellable size in the same window. Peppers are slow. You got to respect that timeline. You got to start them first. And I will also add that if you're starting these seeds in the height of summer, which you are, your temperatures are hotter than they were when you started seeds for your spring transplant sale. So they're not going to have good germination if you're trying to start your seeds outside. So you need to have a setup similar to this. And if you go back through my playlist, I have a seed starting playlist that has a ton of stuff on it. You'll see we went through together the setup. If you've been with me for a while, you know. If you haven't, just hop over to that playlist. I have several grow lights here in germination areas. I don't have a germination chamber. You don't have to have a specific germination chamber. But what I'm suggesting, or what I'm saying, is that for summer, just because your plants are happy growing out there right now outside doesn't mean your seedlings will germinate well outside. You need to bring them in, and plus pests are going to be all over them anyway, so you should start them inside. If you have to start them outside, I've done that before. Throw like a light mesh cloth over them, or actually a really dense insect mesh, basically, over your seedlings to keep them from being like absolutely ravaged. Now, for fall crops, kale, collards, broccoli, cauliflower, broccolini, 4 to 5 weeks is the head start that you need for those. So for a September market, you're starting those sometime in July, late July, early August. That's like right now, basically. If you're watching this in real time with me, by the time this starts to circulate, we are going to be looking at July and August. So go ahead and get those started now. So for things like Brussels sprouts, they're going to need all of 6 weeks to get to a sellable size. So start those early in mid-July, early to mid-July, if you want those for October to November market. Now, that's if you were overwintering your Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts do take a while. They take every bit of 70 to 90 days to yield a nice, good size sprout. So that means you have to have your seedlings ready for them to be able to be in someone else's garden for another 70 to 90 days before about the end of November, if you're in my zone. Basil is more forgiving. Basil takes about 4 to 5 weeks, and you can succession plant basil all the way from mid-June through the season and always have something at market. Herbs like parsley and cilantro, 4 weeks, they take about 4 weeks to get to a transplantable size or a sellable size. Start in early August for a September market. Folks can plant those out, and because most herbs you're just harvesting the leaves and you're not harvesting some sort of fruit, the plant doesn't need a ton of time to create fruit, right? So like if you are looking to sell herbs, like fall herbs that would have bolted in the summer, and you have things like cilantro, dill, parsley, you can pop those seeds in, let's say early August, you'll start them, right? Even in early July. Pop those in there. It takes about 4 weeks. Start to share those with your market so that they're going to be in place when folks are ready to buy them. And then they're going to plant them out. And within a couple of weeks, you can harvest off things like your fall herbs or lettuce, even for that matter. Anything where you are just harvesting a lettuce, you don't have to wait for weeks and weeks to be able to harvest it, which is a bonus. Now, here's an interesting one. Strawberry plants from runners or native plants or perennials from seed. These take about 6 to 12 weeks or longer, and they're very interesting fall sellers because customers are thinking about putting them in permanent beds. So if you can offer strawberry runners, like runners that you have potted, let them grow roots, or native perennial starts in the fall, you are in a category that almost no one else is in fall. Because let's be honest, when it's really hot outside, we are pretty much done with being creative in the garden with starts. I hate to say it, but it's true. It's really hot, and it's really we're hanging on for dear life at this point, you know. And so if you can maintain your creative energy and start some unique things like perennials from seed for your fall garden, for your fall plant sale, you're going to have a lot of things in place for folks that other small plant sales or folks at market don't have. I want to come back to the specific question from the comment earlier because it's a very important one to spell out clearly. How do you time tomatoes and peppers to peak together at the same market? So this is a little bit different. I want you to think about how this is a little bit different from when we talk about our spring plant sale. When you have a plant sale, you pretty much decide when your plant sale is going to be based on when your plants are ready. But when you're selling at market days are set in stone, and you have a certain window of time for those things to be ready, and you want to time out your seedlings to be ready for market. So it's a little less forgiving because the timeline is not one that you decide to create, right? So like if you're starting a spring sale, for example, and you wanted to have it mid-May, but your seedlings are going to take an extra week, you could literally postpone it if you wanted to because it's your sale. But when you're selling at market, people have an expectation that you're going to bring things, they're going to be at a certain size at a certain time, and you can't really change that. So because it's not your date to change. If your target market date is August 1st, start your peppers on June 6th, which is about 8 weeks out. Start your tomatoes on June 20th, which is 6 weeks out. Both will arrive at a sellable size in that same market window. You're not starting them on the same day. You're starting them so that they finish on the same day. That's the whole trick. And if you've been starting your tomatoes and peppers on the same day because that's when you're batching your work and you're wondering why they never seem to be at the same stage, well, now you know. Nobody told you. That's not a you problem. A lot of growers start everything together on the same day because it's easier, it's tidier. You just do it all in one fell swoop, start to finish. It's easier to track. It's easier to clean up. But then they wonder why their peppers are always behind. Now you know why. Stagger your start and then you match your finish. Let me bring all this together into something that you can use before you walk over to your seed starting area this fall. 1, pick your market date. The one you're actually going to sell at or the one that you expect to have the most traffic at, not a hypothetical, like a real date on the calendar. Look at your crop list and find weeks to sellable for each one. Each of the crops that you plan on growing, look for weeks to sellable and mark that down. Use that chart as the reference. Count backwards and write that start date on the calendar or your whiteboard. Then you're going to stick to that. That's it. Those are your 3 steps. The reason that this feels hard is not because you can't handle it. It's because nobody ever explained to you that little shift in mindset that allows you to look at things differently and plan things differently. Now, if you want this turned into a full seedling succession system, where you're not just timing one batch, but you're staggering planting so that you always have something to sell, that's exactly what my seedling succession guide covers. It takes the chart that we just went through and it builds it into a complete week-by-week calendar for your market season. A link is in the description, and if you've been winging all of your successions until now, you might want to check it out. It is going to save you a full season of guessing. So here's our quick recap. Timing your seedlings for market means counting backward from your market date, not forward from when you feel like planting. Every crop has a different weeks to sellable number. Use the chart from this video. And if you're selling things like peppers and tomatoes together, start your peppers first, 2 weeks ahead so that they finish at about the same time. Now, Zone 8 growers, you have fall market windows coming up, and the time to be starting trays is right now, not next month. You got to get those trays filled. And my Zone 7 folks, you could go ahead and start now as well. Zone 9, you've got a little bit more time left. The Seedling Succession Guide is in the description. And if you've not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the button. I post new videos about every week about making real money from your garden. And as always, I know you could have been anywhere today, but you chose to be with me, and I do appreciate it. Bye for now.